All right. Janet, could you please tell me what do you do for a living?
I actually work for a bank, so I'm in a sales and marketing role.
Oh, you must be really responsible and smart. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And what was your diagnosis?
What was my
Diagnosis. What was the injury you had with
oh,
the leg?
I had it was a complete meniscus tear. So the surgery was a full meniscus repair.
Oh, okay. Oh, and were you concerned about anything as you started the rehab process?
Um, yeah, no, just how quickly it was going to go. And just, making sure that I continue to progress, along. Um, so one of the things I had said to Derek though was, because this is the first time I've had a knee injury or a leg injury, I should say. When you come out of surgery, they give you, your weight bearing kind of protocols. And I
Mm.
said to Derek, I'm like, how do I know, how much weight I'm putting on at any given time? Um, so so that was a concern actually. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to do something that was going to set me back.
Okay, I got it. And friend, how did you find Derek? I mean, your physical therapist.
And
Oh,
how did you choose PT?
yeah, no, I love him. Derek is, he's very, he explains every step of the way. He's very, very, open. I love, he challenges me, and, the communication is just really, really good with him. So I know that I'm in the best hands. I trust him implicitly. And yeah, I think I'm happy that he's helping me on this journey. So he's
Oh,
somebody that I
mhm.
enjoy my time with him. Obviously, I wish I wasn't with him.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. And how did you find him?
Oh, well, I actually had rotator cuff surgery last year, so I had him for that.
Oh.
I had Derek for that, and he's been his organization does a lot of work with my husband. Is a coach at the high school, so they do a lot of work. He also their organization also did my son when he tore his ACL, so we know them well.
Okay, so it was some kind of recommendation, right? So you knew this person. Hmm.
Yes.
Got it, got it. And could you tell me how often do you usually contact a medical professional during your rehabilitation?
Um, well, not counting Derek. So I see the doctor who performed the surgery either every 4 to 6 weeks at the moment.
Hmm. Okay, and but when do you usually like contact Derek? Like something hurts, or you have any questions, or something went wrong with whatever.
Well, I do see Derek 3 times a week. So I go for physical therapy 3 times a week. So I go to him usually with a whole bunch of questions, just based on whatever is happening that week, or things that I'm noticing, or, swelling, if it looks like
Mm.
it's getting worse. So I see Derek 3 times a week, and every time I see him, I have like at least 5 or 6 questions for him.
Oh, I got it. Thanks. And all right, then, what was the first impression of our product?
So I think your product is brilliant. Just from the standpoint of, it really helps to take the guesswork out of understanding what the weight bearing um, load is, and especially in the beginning, just even, I think it's only been 2 weeks, I think, since I've had the tips put on. But just in that short time, I feel like I've made a lot of progress, just in general. So I wish I had had them earlier on, like right after surgery, because I think that would have really even been more beneficial for me. So it was comforting. I think, like, one of the best, the biggest advantages was it just gave me some peace of mind that something was helped me to manage the weight bearing load, so that I didn't do something to hurt myself or set myself back. So, and then as we were able to progress to being more weight bearing, it helped me just kind of gauge how I could take those steps and kind of stay in my safe zone. So, so overall, I think it's a great concept. I have to say it's a great conversation starter because everybody noticed the lights. They all thought it was Christmas decorations. I was like,
all right, thanks. And all right, so actually our product consists of like two components, right? The device itself and the application. So could you tell me what did you like about the application?
so when you say the application, you mean like monitoring?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, so it was interesting. When I was when I was still at 50%, I hit a lot, I went over a lot. So I had a lot of red bars, and I think you were able to see my data, right, as well. So you could see, there were times that I was really lighting up the graph. So a couple of comments for that. I think it would be super, super helpful, and maybe this is there and I just didn't know how to get to it. If in the app itself, like when I'm looking on my phone and I'm looking at that graph and I see like, oh my God, like there was a whole bunch of red, just a little bit ago. Most of the time I could back into what I was doing if it was still, obviously early on enough and not too much time had passed. But I thought it might be really helpful, like if in the app on that graph, there could be like time or even like hourly intervals, just so that I could say, oh, that was at like 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's when I was trying to vacuum or, something like that. And then say like, oh, that probably wasn't the best idea. Because right now, when I looked at the graph and I saw the red, sometimes I couldn't remember what I was doing. And I was like, ooh, so that would be helpful just to have like time stamps. Doesn't have to be obviously every minute, but even just to have it broken out by hour would be really, really helpful. I did notice that, so in my house, I have a combination of ceramic floor and carpet. And the carpet that we have is pretty plush. And it was weird. Like, again, I don't know if this was me and how I was walking, but it seemed to be pretty consistent. So when I would go from the floor to the carpet, it seemed like there was a little bit of a period of time where it had difficulty maybe adjusting and correlating to like the new surface that I was walking on. And without a doubt, like it would always flag me as red. And I was testing it. So there were times that I would purposely go from the floor to the carpet and I would like barely be weight bearing, but it would still show red. So there was something a little off with just going from one surface to another. So I just wanted to highlight that. Again, I don't know.
Check it for sure.
Yeah. So the tips, they might have been just sensing the difference in the floor, I guess. So that was just something else I noticed. I looked at, I adjusted myself to the next level. So that worked out easy. I think, the application itself was fairly easy to use. It was very intuitive. It wasn't difficult for me to figure out how to get from level, 50% to 80%. I could, I was able to do that on my own. So that was easy. And, I'm looking, I was taking notes, the graph, floor to the carpet. Oh, this might be a little thing, but it's like one of those things that I figured I'll just mention because it was something that I noticed. In the nighttime, like in darkness, the blue light is like super bright. It's almost like blinding. So like when I up in the middle of the night, like have other people said this?
Yeah. That's not the first time. Yeah, and we were thinking about like some kind of night mode or anything like that, or just to change it a little bit.
Yeah, just to make it a little more warmer or soothing, because it's funny. Yeah, like if I got up from bed in the middle of the night, like to go to the restroom, and the blue light came on, the red light wasn't so bad. But if the blue light came on, it was like, oh, like I couldn't even look down. I was like, whoa, that's really bright in the dark.
All right, police is here. All right.
Exactly.
Got it. Gosh, you're so attentive. Thanks so much. It's, we really appreciate it. You even took notes. Amazing, just amazing.
Oh,
And
well, that's a sales and marketing person for you. We're always evaluating things.
just thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, so I believe that we also covered the question with the device. Maybe you have anything to add regarding the device itself. Was it maybe heavy for you, or you would like to add? Was it comfortable to use? Just with the crunch.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Yes, it was very comfortable. It was, easy to use. As I said, it was really like a great, people noticed, and everybody that I was talking to thought it was brilliant. So it, so make your name more visible on the, somewhere on there so that people can see what it is. But I think it's brilliant because, as I said, it was the first thing that I struggled with, not ever having to deal with a leg injury. And it's terrifying, when you're walking and you don't want to be damaging it. And you're like, the doctor's saying, don't put weight on it. Don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, how the hell? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to be upright.
All right. Got it. Thanks so much. And could you please describe like your everyday flow, like while using the application? So, for example, you wake up, and what do you do with the application? How it works?
So, yeah, I mean, I would pretty much, honestly, I didn't spend a lot of time like looking at it. I would probably look at it at the end of the day because I just kind of wanted to see how many steps I took and, kind of how I did if I was in the red zone a lot. And I kind of, I knew if I was, I got a sense if I was in the red zone because I could, I was tired. But, I think that I was pretty active. I mean, for work, I do spend a lot of time sitting at in front of my laptop. But for the period that I had the crutches, I think I did some shopping. I visited some friends, so I know I was out and about, and up on the crutches a lot. So I think they gave me a good sense, for what I was doing. And the only time I was probably, less mobile, obviously, was when I was sleeping and maybe towards the end of the day. But I think pretty much for the bulk of the day, I was probably, pretty active on them.
All right. And did you check your statistics?
I did check the steps, not knowing, not comparing it to anything else. I don't know if that was a lot or not, but so, as I said, I kind of let, if my legs were feeling tired, obviously I would sit, but there's a lot to get done around here. So I was, trying to just keep up with everything.
Got it. And could you please, I didn't know, it was a long time ago, but still, did you proceed with the registration in the application?
I think I did.
And was it frustrating somehow? No? Yes?
Oh, no. I mean, it's the log. Yeah. Just like the setting up at the account.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I think that was very simple. I mean, Ilya was there with me. So if I had any questions, he was right there. But I mean, even if he wasn't, I think I probably would have been able to figure out how to do it. So it was not, I would say that probably should be easy for most.
And maybe you can tell us some points so we can simplify the registration procedure.
I can't remember it. I mean, I think it was pretty straightforward. I put my name in, it was kind of just my weight, my email, maybe my phone number. I don't think there was more, was there?
Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks. And did you face any issues with our product, with the device or the application itself?
No, I think the technology worked well. It recorded, so it's not like I ever had like a dead zone. I felt like it was on and tracking. Actually, I will comment. I think the retention for the charging is phenomenal. I mean, the fact that you can get a couple of days out of it is great. And when I had to charge them, they charge up pretty fast. So that worked well. You know, it's not like I had to wait hours for them or I had to charge them overnight. So they, you know, that was good. And, you know, I think like I said, the only thing that kind of frustrated me was just not being able to back in looking at the graph to a time so that I could see, like, try to remember what I was doing when I saw all this red. So that would really be my really only recommendation, that and the blue light.
Got it. Got it. And for you, what was the most valuable thing about the product for you?
Well, I think giving me that mental comfort as well as obviously the physical validation that I wasn't overexerting myself and I was able to have some ability to monitor and control my walking on the crutches so that I didn't do anything to set back you know, my weight bearing or anything in my recovery. So to me that the mental comfort was really, you know, that was probably the most important thing. um you know, because you could easily overdo it, and then, you know, I have no idea if I was overdoing it, if that's going to set me back, and, you know, when Derek sees me again, if he's going to yell at me, or, you know, will that make my legs swell up, or, you know, something like that. So it just helped me mentally, and then it definitely gave me the ability to control it.
Got it. All right. And Janet, now we have the question which requires like your honesty. How useful was the product from 1 to 10?
So with 10 being the most useful,
Yep.
but for like just a couple of little tweaks, I would say, you know, a 9. So I would give it a really high rating. I think, you know, it's amazing to me that nobody's thought of this sooner, because it's such a key part of anybody with, you know, who's gone through leg surgery. The whole weight bearing issue is something everybody has to deal with when they're coming out of, you know, I'm assuming knee replacement and, you know, whatever else everybody has to go through. So, you know, I think the concept is brilliant. I do think the product has huge potential. I mean, God, it would be awesome if you could get these on it should be standard on every crutch, because anybody who's on a crutch has to be careful with weight bearing for the most part, like after surgery, maybe not if you have a broken leg. So I think it's got a lot of potential.
All right, thank you so much for your kind words. And if it is not a secret, could you tell us how much did you spend on rehabilitation that is not covered by your insurance?
So, well, I'm obviously still in it. So right now I'm averaging probably about $75 to $100 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about 5 weeks in. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. And oh, yeah, please go on.
No, I was going to say, I think I have at least 3 or 4 months more to go.
Oh, I see. I see. And could you tell us just like the example of the products, like some kind of medicine or devices or
Other things that I'm using, you mean?
Yeah. And which is not covered by your insurance, so you need to buy it by yourself.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, just, you know, general pain medication, which at this point I'm really not using at all.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did just buy some compression socks just to help. I still have some residual swelling in my calf. So I bought some compression socks for that to help with the swelling. I mean, other than that, I really don't need any special equipment per se.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, let me take that back. So things that we bought for my son when he had his ACL surgery, that if we didn't have this stuff already, I would have bought, and we bought this for him, is a seat for the shower. So definitely, you know, I'm obviously not able to stand in the shower, so I'm using the seat he used, but we did buy that out of pocket. And then separately, I would have bought this if I didn't have access to one, but I'm using my dad's walker. Not so much now, but in the beginning I was. So those would be 2 items that I would purchase out of pocket to help with the recovery.
All right, got it. Thank you so much. And if the doctor, for example, if the doctor told you to purchase our device, but didn't tell you where to get it, where would you go?
Well, I would look online. I guess that would be the first place I would start. So, on an online medical store, or I would go to a medical device physical store and see if they had them.
Got it. Thanks. And would you pay for the product if it's not covered by insurance?
Um, I would, because I do think it adds value to the experience and to the recovery process.
All right. So as far as I understood, your rehabilitation took about a couple of months. Am I correct?
Yeah, it will. Like I said, I'm only a month out of surgery right now.
But using weight-bearing device, just 2 weeks, yes?
Correct. So I'm off the crutches. I just got off the crutches though. So had I had your tips when I first came out of surgery, I would have wanted them right away. So for my procedure, my first month would have benefited from having those the full time.
And how much would it be the fair price for this month of using our device, by your own opinion?
How much would I have paid? Oh gosh. Oh, I have no idea.
Hey,
Um,
1 million, it's too much. $10,
yeah, what?
it's not enough.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't pay more than I guess 100, for the device for a 4-week experience.
Okay.
All right. Got
Thanks
it.
so much. It was so useful for us. It's brilliant. If you have any questions for us, you can contact us, and we can help you if we can with any questions.
Okay.